Okay, let's go. Uh, this is just after round 2. Well, there are 3 rounds per week. This is after week 2, so I've had 6 rounds. The first one went very well, and the second one that I just got home from went pretty terribly. So the first round I got 2.5 out of 3 against people rated approximately on average above 2k. So that was great. I played against a bit weaker opponents this time, and I only got a single point, and I should not even have gotten it. This is the game that I got the point from. I'm gonna show you a bit of the middle game because it's interesting. This was originally a closed Sicilian, and I recently opened it up. I recently pushed the pawn to d5 because there was a knight here which got kicked here, and the e-file got opened up in the same because there were 2 pawns here, and if they just moved here then I can take because of this pin, which is funny. So they first took and then played the knight. And here I wanna look at this position because I spent like 3 or 4 minutes and I had no idea what to do. This is a mate threat, but it's never anything interesting. I can always prevent it. I can play f6 because maybe this they can take here and maybe take there, or just take here twice. That's also possible. So I could do that. Could play f6. This knight gets kicked to exactly here, but that kills my bishop. Because I don't really want to move this knight. Well, maybe I do. But there's... I mean, I think honestly this is probably the plan. Whoa. I missed that. That's great. That's actually insane because the queen can't get out of this pin. Next turn I move the knight and play h5. I think that's probably the plan, right? Let's just look at it. Yeah, f6 clearly the best move. I assumed that I was better here, but yeah, f6, knight g4 and bishop d7. Yeah, missed that. And just let it be, even. c5, c4 I mean. Just like what's gonna happen? Okay. So I looked at f6 for quite a while, but I missed that the queen can't get out of the pin. I played a very stupid move here, which I thought was interesting as well. And I just want to look at how playable it is, because it looks almost playable, which is shocking. So there are 3 main qualities of a position. There is what was it? Material, time, space. I think that's it. Space I am slightly better. Materials equal. Time I basically turned well, positional, I created a positional disadvantage, but I created a lot of pressure and time in exchange. So I played the very stupid move knight to d4, which, I mean, we'll see. There is some merit to this move. So the obvious thing is, if you don't, I mean, if I take, that seems good. If I can take here, that also seems good. Well, I mean, if I take here, maybe that's not... oh, if I take here, I threaten to win a pawn, so you have to take back like that, and then I can play bishop d7, which seems very good for me. So the obvious solution is just to take, and I took back. And this is terrible. However, it does create a threat on the c2 pawn, and the threat on the e pawn here. The knight is attacked twice and only defended once. My opponent defended one of them, and instead of taking this pawn, which I could have done, I played rook. Actually, I played rook a to e8, putting pressure here, and planning to take, well, twice, end up with the queen probably, and then immediately infiltrate. Actually, maybe I'll take with the rook second and then double up. But it's preventable, of course, with the move knight f3. Here for quite a while I looked at this move, rook e3, but I mean, if you take, then I take and I'm happy, but if you don't take, then what does it do? It pins this knight. It kind of threatens this, it kind of pins this, but after queen g3 oh, it's the, sorry, it doesn't pin this, because it's not a queen, it's a rook. So it pins this, and attacks this pawn, and that's it. And if you just defend the pawn, or maybe even here, then there's no play. What I should probably have done here is play bishop d7. Whoops. Whatever, I played rook e7 with the point to just double up on the e file. And because these rooks are so disconnected, I just own the e file now, which is... there is some merit to this terrible pawn structure, and this is one of them. However, I probably should have played here because of bishop d2 threatening here, and also I probably, maybe it doesn't matter because I probably should just play a5 here. Instead I double up. There's also this option, which is a pawn, but it's not a very healthy pawn. Actually, it's more than a pawn. Whoops. Oh wait, this was the point. And then I just lose an exchange. Actually, here I'd have to play this. But then check here. Oh yeah, then wins a piece. Unfortunate. I should have probably done that then. Instead I just doubled up, sacked the pawn, got to e2, and I took this pawn now. So this position. We're playing a rapid game, 5-second increment. We both have 6.5-ish minutes. I have like 7-ish, but whatever. My opponent here spends 6.5 minutes, gets down to 10 seconds. Actually, they play one move. They play this, and then spend 6.5 minutes, which I think is really weird, because they can just get a slightly better endgame with just taking again and playing queen c8. We looked at this, and I believe we came to the conclusion that you have to play queen e8 here because of bishop e8, knight e5, and this is defended by the bishop. So here, and there's no more check even, was the line. And then you lose. So I have to play queen e8, and then this endgame is slightly better for white because of these pawns. And you have to go try to save this pawn, and then I don't know, plus 0.3 or plus 1 even. Jeez. Yeah, that's what I assumed. However, my opponent spent the remaining part of his time calculating everything, then went for a4, which is also a very interesting move. It forces bishop e8 actually. Funnily enough. And I can take here in between, but I don't, but that's not good because then the knight takes, which is also defended, and my bishop is hanging, so there's nothing I can do, and I just lose a piece there. Then actually, yeah, my opponent traded and played. Alright, my opponent traded and played this, and I won this pawn. And my opponent resigned here with no time left. But yeah, I mean, this position is winning, right? Maybe not, but I would have assumed so. I am up a pawn. Oh, maybe you just win it back immediately, because I can't play d4 here. Okay. But yeah, knight d4 is... I mean, I missed f6, but... Well, I saw f6, but I missed the point. I mean, it's equal. It's not terrible. Rook f2. Rook e8. Why a5? Why is that so important? And rook f8, whatever. I thought the f-rook might be useful at some point, in theory. But it probably also doesn't matter. Rook e3 is the best move. I looked at it, didn't play it, but I looked at it. That's quite something already, right? Yeah, I should have played. Rook e7 is okay. And queen takes c2. Yeah, should have played that. Rook f8 is slightly better, but... What was the line? This? No, it was queen b2. I would have played. So rook c1, and if you take here, you can insert that, that's fine, and then f5. That, my opponent would not have spotted that. And what happens on this? Rook e2. And just sack the exchange. And black is better. Somehow. Okay. I would not have played that. I would have played this. Been slightly worse apparently. You can also go here. Yeah, I also would not have played this. But yeah. Yeah, rook e2 is fine. Rook e1. Yeah. I assumed that this was bad. But you do have to actually take twice. And play queen c8. Forcing queen e8. Yes. Engine agrees. Took him a bit longer than it should have, but yeah. And then trade, and this endgame after king f2 is you're just better. Yeah, a4. I thought this was actually just checkmate. Oh, you take with the bishop. Oh. Ugh. Okay, but yeah. Actually, not queen c8. Should have been queen c8, of course, but now... Queen e4. Yeah, should have played queen e4. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. My opponent had no time. I won. The other two games I lost. One of them I just blundered an opening. Went terribly in a Queen's Gambit accepted variation. And last game I blundered a rook in a rook versus knight endgame, up 2 pawns as well. And then I had 3 connected passed pawns versus 1 and a knight, and the 1 pawn was just way too fast. Happens. But yeah. 3.5 out of 6 still. That's above average. Still have a decent TPR probably. Okay. See you whenever.